Welcome,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
Hey, Peter, how are you doing today?
Awesome. Look where I am in
Hey,
the jungles of India. And where are you?
I am in Switzerland, so absolutely on track here. Has never been on track like this today. I am doing my trip to Zurich. I am just now in between, like 30 minutes ahead of Zurich, so we have 25 minutes to talk, and the mobile reception is great, and yeah, it's just as I really have to congratulate us, and so I have to clap on your shoulder, on my shoulder, because we could have easily like really postponed this live video because we're both so busy. You're busy doing web pages for
Yeah.
clients. I am on the road and in the train, but you know what, this is also our commitment that we say let's do it, and also let's show what is possible. And we understand you out there when you say, oh, video seems complicated, let's do it another time. Yes, we
Yeah.
understand it because we also have to go over our comfort zone all the time. And this is basically it. Just do it anyways. The quality is most of the time more astounding as you might have thought. So this is what we are doing today. So the idea is from live to podcast today. So unveiling the secrets of turning your video to captivating podcasts. And
Yeah. And using that at the same time to take advantage of live video because everyone loves a good live video and you can multi-purpose. Are we actually
let's see, I
we are
just do a
actually
film.
super live.
Are we live? At least the people, if people want to join me in the train, who knows? That's
So
it. And the
I'm
idea.
I'm
So, what
just
I would just like to share,
reflecting
because we have to
here
be like, yeah, yeah,
I'm
reflect.
reflecting here on the idea of just being consistent and just going out and doing it regardless of having perfect situations or you're in the train, I'm over here in a foreign country, things could happen. The
Yeah,
your connection could cut out, looks like it's you and things can happen, but
yeah,
the point
I'm
is
just
when you
sharing.
just keep showing up, then the
That's it.
quantity will build the quality.
Yes, I love this, what you said last time. I think this is really going to be our motto of the whole thing. That
Yes.
quantity is developing because you're getting better and better. Just if you think you go better each time, what kind of a proof learning curve this is going to be. And
Yes.
we are both like cherishing and also embracing the power of video, because video like the strongest media that you could use if you're reaching out on social networks. And the idea is also to show you what's possible in terms of podcasting. And this is like showed you the last time already. This is the idea of repurposing video, like from like a live moment. You can record it in a live moment, or you can even do a live stream like we are doing right now, and then trick like from one part, like from a social media post to a story and
Mm.
then an audio podcast. And what we are doing today to reach out to you, that's a special software that also makes it possible to record us.
Excuse me.
Bless you, my friend. To record us and then also cut out the things and in aftermath that don't work, of course. But the idea is you are going for the moment, but then the software has recorded the high definition video and is then uploading it on a server. And then you can both use this high HD video file also with the best possible audio sound if there is some dropout. And so you can then
Yeah.
work from there. And I think this is the beauty
So
of it. And yeah, do
basically,
you
we're
see it
able
to the
to
show? Yeah.
what we're using. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show this. I
Yeah.
got a
Okay.
hot tip from one of our viewers some weeks ago about this software, and I
Okay.
think it's really cool. this Riverside. You have a
This is
screenshot of
it.
us using
Yes, I
it.
have a screenshot. Look how this is what we did like some minutes ago. This is the dashboard, the dashboard of Riverside, the software that is a cloud-based uh, streaming and recording software. And so you can even, like as you see here, put in some notes above, and so it's really easy to use. It's a little bit like a Zoom, and you can also one person as a interview partner. But then uh, what's nice about it is, for example, if we are in a situation like this here where we never know how long is the life going to last, we at least have it recorded at the same time, and then we can use this impeccable video file and audio files
4K quality.
Yeah. For
we get a recording
edits.
of the video, and it's also going live at the same time. Why do you think we need to do this whole effort to go live? Why not just record it and edit it nicely instead, and avoid the trickiness and the perhaps embarrassment of going live?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. And first, it really gives the people an opportunity to catch up with us all the time, preferably the same time every week. And so what we're doing here is that we are doing our own rhythm here, and let people get close to us at this time, even though it's maybe difficult. But first, like, we are creating something here in partnership with the viewers. So people could ask questions, could also chime in. I will also look on Facebook how it is streaming right now. And if there are comments, of course, let us know. Then the other question is, you cannot go back with a live video so you are in the moment. And of course, it could always be better, but it will never be perfect if you don't take the decision to do so. And so this is what I just give my clients who are looking for confidence also in front of the camera, as an important learning. That's okay, just dive in, make the best out of it. The presentation that you would do is anyways, it's a dynamic. Embrace it, then waiting for the best possible moment that is seldomly, or that is rarely going to come anyways.
Yes, better to do it than to be a person that's always waiting. I've learned this from psychology. If you're a type of person who often thinks, well, I need this to be in place to do it, and then I'll be ready when I have this done and that qualification and this experience, then that positions you as a type of person who is never doing it, because you're always waiting for something else to be in place, and it's never going to be 100% perfect. So I want to also ask about.
Please go.
No.
Ask.
There's a little bit of a time overlap. You're in a train. I'm in India, so we got to be a little bit. That's one tricky part. I want to ask about the advantages, disadvantages, video versus audio podcast. We know a lot of people who have an audio only podcast. I know a lot of people who have a YouTube and then they repurpose that to audio podcast. So what would be the difference? And then we're like taking it to the next level where we have a live video, which gets turned into a YouTube podcast and audio podcast. What's the advantages and maybe disadvantages of video, live video, and audio podcasts? These three categories.
I think we are about to find out right now how important and how successful video podcasts are going to be, as YouTube is entering the scene and is becoming a podcast hoster itself. And also the Spotify. So YouTube has really engaged a lot into the podcast field and like showing up as a podcast hoster, and of course doing that with the approach to do more video podcasts, because people are on the social networks, are on the screen, so they can see it at the same time they are listening to it. Why not? I think there is this like, you cannot really say what will be more successful audio only podcast or a podcast that is predominantly started as a video podcast. I think important is that the sound quality has to match a podcast to be able to survive in both worlds. And of course, if you are going for a video podcast now, you should have some appealing and interesting setup that people also would like to see. And of course, we definitely have this here,
Yeah.
as I can
We
sort of
have it
show you
today,
beautiful
look.
nature here, and people see us. And yeah.
My house.
Hey, amazing. And yeah, let's see. I think, of course, I can totally understand if somebody's doing a podcast and is just recording it with the microphone and is doing it in his or her basement because they feel safe. And but then you just have the around it with a podcast visual.
I think we've lost connection, unfortunately. But the interesting thing about Riverside is...
I see it. The connection is still good. I think in terms of promotion of your podcast, it is so important that you have the ability to share it through the social networks with, like, for example, outtake with a story outtake.
Right.
And therefore you need to be on video anyways, right?
So the long form video is really the, let's say, the product, and that also enables you to create the promotion of the product. Whereas if you have audio only, the promotion of the product is more difficult.
Yeah. So I think we have seen that so many people start their podcast from a Zoom conversation. And that is, I think it was a practical way to do it. And the people have just done it because they have had a great conversation. Why not using that as a podcast, as an audio podcast? Question with that is that the quality is not really satisfying when you have a Zoom conversation. In terms of the video quality, it's less than HD, and also the audio quality is not perfect. So therefore, a vehicle like now we are promoting here, or we're showing that we're doing that through Riverside, is really something that was needed to bridge that gap.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, wonderful platform.
And also, let me just share a thought. Also, because I'm coming from radio, so since I am 14 years old, I have been interested in what's possible with the radio, and the 1990s when I was about that age. But we have seen that as soon as the idea of multimedia came in, also with radio, they equipped themselves with a webcam to show the studio, to show the anchor who is then presenting the radio show. And I think the same thing happens right now, just with a time delay of 30 years.
Okay. Yeah, because by nature we want to see what's going on there. We want to see the faces, and especially behind the scenes. Who doesn't love a good behind the scenes,
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're there.
Yeah. And
so I want to ask another question
please.
after you finish this.
Please.
You make a point, and then I'll ask a question.
No, I just leave you the lead here.
I wanted to ask solo podcast versus conversational partner podcast. I know a lot of people, they just try to make just try to speak some topic themselves. But I see a lot of the successful podcasters on YouTube, on other podcast platforms, they have guests. They're always talking with guests, or they have like a steady partner, like we have. We're always the two of us talking together. Versus just someone
Peter?
going at it alone.
I agree.
What would you tell someone who's just going at it alone and they're maybe struggling with that format, why should they look for either to interview people, be interviewed, or find like a steady partner like we are doing, or just to keep going at it alone? Give some words to that.
Thanks, Peter. So it's a great question, and also I couldn't think of a better circumstance than our current conversation that we're having in very dynamic environments. Let's say it like this. And I would say it is always to make the best of the moment, and of course doing it in the best possible quality. But if we are alone, we are also left on our, let's say, paradigms of that has to be perfect. I have to think of it before I really say it, and I want to do it again. So you cannot do that if you're in a conversation, you know.
Yeah.
You down right now, Peter, because I have to think of like another slide, and so I won't let you like do the whole thing because it would be unfair, and on the other hand it would also be not so much fun, of course. So we are carrying each other here and reflecting each other, and so that makes 1 + 1 = 5, I would say. And the same thing with a conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I've heard from people who have like a solo podcast, and they have to speak just, you know, for 30 minutes into the camera. And I think it's also very boring for the viewer or the listener to hear like this monologue, this speech. It kind of, it gets dry. It lacks some dynamicism.
This is exactly why I also say do a live video, because actually the viewer is your accountability partner. Because if you know somebody's watching, so you're trying to, you're at least imagining who's there on the other side and what they would be interested in.
It's funny. It's like, this is like live on the internet. Anybody could be watching, but it really feels more free in that sense, because, you know, we're all people. Anyone can mess up, and anyway, what is the definition of a mess up? Like, that doesn't really exist.
True.
So in that sense, we're creating fun content, we're creating cool content, and it doesn't need a whole lot of, like, you know, prepping and then editing until it's live. You know, like the ones who do pre-recorded, they might do it weeks or months until it's published. But we're publishing and then republishing. And unfortunately, it looks like your Wi-Fi cut out. No, you're back.
Okay. And I was also just looking, you know what, we are live. I just wanted to give you that as on your profile, at least. It's very satisfying, and also in a way also wonderful to see that this is possible, what we're doing. So we're doing,
you see it live
radio,
on my LinkedIn profile.
And we're doing like a radio and television
show. Can you make a screenshot?
Absolutely, I'm doing that right now, and we're doing this show right now from a train, and out like here from India, and we do and we make it happen. And that's the thing. The idea is the thing that is going to get into a form soon. So we are sharing the ideas here to be as inviting as possible, going also into a conversation, making the best out of it. And most of it's not the preparation that makes, of course the preparation is important, but then how in the moment, how do you
and that needs practice.
I think that's quite exciting. Yeah.
And it needs practice. It needs also guide. Yeah. The more we do it, the more experience we get. But I mean, you came in already with so much knowledge and experience already. In fact, you told me you're giving courses to people about this, how to show up live. So I can encourage any viewers who see the value in going live. You know, you got to get in touch with Daniel. Maybe Daniel, can you tell us a bit what you're going to be doing in Zurich? I think that's going to
Yeah,
be interesting for the viewers. Explain a little bit what you do besides the
I
live
think
video.
yes. I will. I'm happy to explain. Hopefully, you still hear me. So the idea
Yes.
of helping people to go live, that's always an an approach that follows from two directions. Basically, the one approach is to have confidence in the technology, the confidence that
I'm lacking a little bit confidence in the wireless internet from the Swiss train, or maybe it's my internet that I don't see you. Lack of a little bit of confidence in the internet connection right now. I just see him
I
frozen. I'm
still
going to
hear
make a
you. I think I
screenshot
still,
here.
yeah. And then, Peter, there's a second approach, and that is the confidence through your mindset. And that is
Mm,
something only you can, like, technology is
yeah.
there. If you think at the right moment, I don't have anything to say, people will laugh at me, this is not perfect, whatever, then you will not use the
Yeah.
possibility of the
Yeah.
moment. You will progress another time, another week. And this is what I can especially
Lost
also now
opportunity.
contribute. Yeah. And so here we go,
So
and
that we
I
can
just
live a
wanted to
life
also land
without
this. If you're,
regrets.
yes, exactly. And Peter, also I think has been quite an adventure with me. I think we are doing this now for the sixth time, and I want to
Yeah.
congratulate you that you have been there and always
Yeah.
opportunity and made it happen. So I think this speaks really for what a great guy you are, and that you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
seizing the opportunity. How do you feel now after after now so many times? I think it's the fifth time for you.
It feels just like it's part of life. In fact, it's a little bit exciting. I know, like every time we're gonna go live, it's fun. It brings some spice in life. If we were just recording
Yeah.
it, or I was doing it solo, I think it would be more of a, But this is funny.
And I really have to thank you because you bring in so much structure in the thing. I'm often thinking a little bit about like, okay, how can we make it happen? Today it was like adding the right stream key to Riverside that it really
Leaves the
works. But
technical,
on the
yeah.
other hand, so you have this great approach. Really, I always say it. So you are a great expert when it comes to really refine the message, to give something a structure, and help people to walk through the complexities of a topic that, of course, needs
Yeah.
to be, because we are all experts. But
Yeah.
what Peter is especially great for when he does websites, he brings you a website everybody understands of 8 seconds what the story is, why they should like scrolling further of the
Yeah.
website of your offer, and why they should go with you. And so yeah, so if you want the website, so go for Peter.
Story brand. It's an
Yes,
amazing
exactly.
framework. Thank you. So I
And
guess you're rolling into Zurich in a minute, and
that's
I wanted you to
exactly right.
tell the audience what you're doing as far as you go all over Switzerland with your video gear in your
Yes.
bag, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Like, why such small gear?
Yeah. So
And
you
what are
know
you
what?
doing?
This is also the thing. The easier, the smaller, the better. And if you want to take, for example, a live in-person event, disturbed about a big film team. Maybe you've been at an event yourself where it was something you really wanted to dive in, and then somebody is coming and filming, and you think, okay, am I looking
The
good or so?
camera
What
on your
I'm doing
face.
is that
Yeah.
I'm coming with a very discreet set of wireless cameras. I'm sitting in the back, and I'm always choosing then from the back, like a director in a live TV production, the right angle. And so then today is, for example, a panel discussion that is really easy to like, or where it's really great to have several perspectives, because if somebody speaks from one side, you can switch camera and so forth, or you can tilt. And no, it's just great for the people who are sitting in the event because they are not disturbed, so it keeps the energy, but especially great for all people who want to join the event live because they cannot come, maybe it's too far, but they still want to be in this live.
Yeah.
Where I think this is my market. This is one of the niches I'm currently now going in to show, hey, look what's possible with one person is doing a TV production that's done like some 20 years. You had like satellite and everything. Now, it has all changed, and that's the beauty of it.
It's basically non-intrusive.
Let you know, of course.
Non-intrusive way of that someone at some event or any type of event can.
That's it. Yeah.
Are you arriving?
This is perfect.
Looks like we got to end.
Yes, this is so cool, but we have to end, you guys. And so much thanks for this great live video. It was another peek in our life history, dear Peter, and looking forward to seeing you next week. Wherever we are.
Wonderful, yeah. Have a great
Have
day.
a great
Take
day.
Some good videos of your event.
Absolutely.
Bye.
And everybody wishing you a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah.